Welcome back, YouTube. It is Wednesday, March the 5th. This is now episode 8. The whole focus, intent, and purpose of this video is to exclusively deal with tapping those tanks, or that tank. I only have one. But this video is going through the whole process of what I did to tap my diesel tank to support the 2 diesel heaters. So I'm going to run you through everything. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Well, welcome back, YouTube. It is actually Monday, March the 3rd. It's after work. My episode 7 video is currently uploading to YouTube as we speak right now, and it will be out tonight. And one of the first things that I want to do in episode 8 is to address what I've been talking about for so long and never done, is tapping the tank. So before I go putting a hole in a half-full diesel tank full of fuel, I wanted to test and make sure that I knew what I was doing. And so I found this piece of scrap metal, and I can put as many holes as I want to in it and make sure I get this right. I did use the calculator on my computer to validate the matholator stuff that I did in my head. And what I've come up with is that I need a 0.219 drill bit for the tap, because the threads on this, being that it was not made in the USA, is metric, and it is a M61 thread type. So that correlates to a 0.219 drill bit out of my drill index, which is very close to a 7/32 drill bit. So that's what I have here. So that's what we're going to need to drill the first hole to be able to tap. I have already put a small pilot hole in here. I did that off camera just to make it easier, because it's getting cold and I want to get inside where it's warm. The other thing that I have is I have my M61 tap in this drill. And the one thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do this exactly out here the way that I would be doing it in the bus in the tank. So that's why I have the drill set up with the drill bit and another drill set up with a tap, because when I get inside the bus and I start working this, I'm not going to have the room to use the tap tool, so I'm going to have to do it with the drill. So that's what I'm going to try to do right here. So the first thing that I need to try to do is get this drill hole drilled, and then from there move into doing the tap. I'm going to do this all in real time. We're going to talk about it as we go through, and we're going to see what happens. So let's get after it. I guess it helps if you have the chuck tightened up enough. No, this is not working as planned. All right, so there you can see 7/32, 0.219, got the hole drilled. So now it's time to see what happens with this. I do want to point out that I have this on the lowest possible setting. I have it on 1 so that it's slow. We've got to take this very slow and easy. Don't want to be aggressive with it. So I'm putting it in the hole. I will slowly run it through. It's starting to grab. I'm going to back it out. Put it in again. Slowly run it through. Back it out. And I'm seeing something I don't like. It looks like this thing is not straight and square, so I'm going to reset this because I'm seeing some wobble in the tap, and I don't like that, so I'm going to try this differently. That's why I'm doing it like this. So let's go back, start over. That's better. Alright, looks like we're all the way through. Looks like we've got threads. So now the moment of truth. This is actually the fuel pickup that'll go inside the tank. I've got to set some measurements and cut it, things like that. But for right now, what should happen, and we'll find out together if it works, is this will drop through the tank like so. It will go into the hole in the tank, and if I can get this tube straightened out enough so that it'll work, drop this in, move this out of the way, and this should thread right in. And lo and behold, it does, ladies and gentlemen. It is going in without a problem. Oh, that makes me happy. We've got the secret sauce. Everything seems to be working. I'm going to tighten this all the way down as though it would be on the tank, because I'm noticing there's a little bit of play in this that I'm not too sure about. But if it tightens up and tightens down, we'll be good to go. And at least hand tight, it is good. All that play is gone now, so it's solid. There is a little rubber washer on the bottom of here that seals to the top of the tank. I would probably use a wrench and put a little bit more torque on this. But for right now, just for the sake of what we're doing here, just to test and make sure that my mathulator and my calculator didn't deceive me, I wanted to run a test on this, and I appear to have the right combination of everything that I need. Backing this out. Now, I will admit, one of the other reasons why this may have some play in it is that this sheet of metal is a lot thinner than what that tank would be. So that may have something to do with it. When I pull this out, as you can see, there's that washer I was telling you about that will actually seal to the top of the tank. It came with, hands are cold, I can't hold on to anything. It came with a nut like this. One of the things I do want to point out that I'm not sure if everybody's aware of or not, but these pickup tubes for tapping tanks and all of those kind of things, at least in my case, do not come with the diesel heater. You have to get this separately. And so I want to make sure everybody's aware of that. One of the other things that they come with is this very ineffective, I guess is the right word, green tubing. From everything that I've seen, and I've watched a lot of videos on it, do not use that. There are kits that you can get that provide all the necessary tubing to make these connections. The tubing that I have and the fittings that I have are just inadequate, and so I got this with an installation kit with the rubber hose and all the other things that go along with it, and then I've got some extension because I'm going to put one in the front, which I don't really need an extension for, but I'm also going to put one all the way back here in the back, which I will, because it's going to be quite a run. So it looks like that I've got the right combination. It looks like that the secret sauce is working, and it looks like that we've got a wrap on this. And so from this test, I should be able to go forward and actually feel confident that I can tap the tank and get my pickup tubes in there. So we're going to pick this up at another time and actually work on getting the tank set up and get the pickups in so we can install some diesel heaters. And we'll be back. Well, welcome back, everyone. It is Tuesday, March 4th, and I am going to capitalize on the success and motivation that I had yesterday testing out the tapping of the diesel tank. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got my first pilot hole right here. Let me see if I can move the light and get that in there. Hopefully you can see it, but I got a pilot hole there and a pilot hole there. So we're gonna go through the exact same process that we did yesterday. I've got the 0219 drill bit in the drill, which is 7/30 seconds. I've got my tap ready. We're gonna try to get her done. Let's get after it. I'm gonna leave it on real time and we're gonna walk right through it. Drilling the first hole. This tank seems to be some pretty soft metal, which is good for drilling holes, for sure. Get all those metal shavings out of the way. But first hole is drilled. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Now, this one I have to do because of where it's at a little bit of an angle. So, uh-oh. This drill is not working very well. I'll use the drill bit to my advantage to get all the metal shavings out of the way while the hole's plugged up. And then take that out. Alright. Here we go. Now, as you can see, I've got hole drill for the first tap, hole drill for the second tap. I am tapping this twice. I have two diesel heaters, one for the front, one for the back. So now, now's the moment of truth. Let's see if we can get her tapped. And we're going to do this very slow, just like we did yesterday. Clean out the threads. Turn it back around. We're all the way through. Alright, number one is done. But we're not anywhere near finished right now. Now we'll move on to number two. You can see it. I'll try to move the light and hopefully it doesn't screw everything up, but a little bit of tension, back it out, clean out the threads, turn it around, a little bit of tension, back it out, clean out the threads, turn it around. And we're all the way through. Turn it around. Back it out. Alright. So now we have the tank tapped, and the next step is to get the pickup in. First thing that I have to do is set the depth on the tube. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this in right here. Let it fall all the way to the bottom of the tank. Make sure there's no resistance. And then I'm going to get my handy dandy trusty marking pen. And I'm going to mark this so that I know where the top of the tank is. And I'm going to pull it out. And there's definitely diesel on it. I have about a half of a tank in here, so it's a good judge. But I do not want it to run my tank down. I know you can't see me, but I don't want to move the camera. So the total depth of the tank from top to bottom is 13 inches. So if I go up here to the rubber washer I showed you yesterday, go down to 13. I think what I want to do is make sure that I don't get below at least a quarter of a tank, maybe more. So 5 inches, 8. So I think I'm going to cut this at 9. And I'll bring this over here to show you. So here is from the top of the tank. And over here is the bottom. And I measured from here down. This is really difficult to make sure you can see, but I measured from here down that 13 inches, which would have put me, you can't see it on the camera, but would have put me somewhere up in this area. So then I measured up from that, and from here to here is the distance that I want. I'm going to double check and measure that and make sure that I'm right. And then once I do that, I'm going to put a battery in my angle grinder and cut that tube off right there. Let's see what's going on. Yep, that was the right mark. Making double sure. All right. So at this point, I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to here to hold it. Measure 3 times. Cut once. Now when I do this for the other side, I am not going to take it for granted that all the measurements and everything that I've got here are the same. I will be remeasuring everything. So it's about to get noisy. I'm going to cut this and then we're going to get her installed. Cut. Now one of the things that I need to do, I got this screw right here. You can see inside the tube there, the grinding of the metal seems to have closed off that tube a little bit. So I'm going to clean that out, make sure that that hole is open so that we don't have any issues there. So now, if you can see it, I hope you can, that hole is very much open. So now, as I was showing you yesterday, we've got this rubber washer here. That's going to seal right up against the top of the tank and provide the seal there. This is set to that 9 inches that I was telling you about. So let's see if that tap worked. This is much firmer getting it into the hole than it was on that piece that I tested with yesterday. This is solid and tight. There's no play. Makes me really happy. I'm feeling good about this one. All right. I'm going to get me a little crescent wrench and come back and do a little bit more torque on this. But for right now, oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. All right. Just kind of hand tight. For the record, I've never done this before. So I'm a little bit nervous about it because I definitely don't want to screw up my tank, but it seems to be working, so we're going to move on to the next one. And I do want to share with you that what I'm doing here is not by any stretch of the imagination my own idea. I picked this up. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on trying to tap diesel tanks and stuff, and most of the stuff that I saw was talking about dropping tanks or using pre-existing things, and I don't have any of that. And I did see a video from Chuck Cassidy on YouTube that was doing this exact same thing on one of his buses, so that's where it came from. It's not my original idea. So credit where credit is due. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't know what the heck I was doing. And I'd be struggling to try to figure out how to get diesel to my diesel to my diesel heaters without using those flimsy ass little plastic tanks they come with, because don't like those, and I don't want to carry around extra diesel if I have a huge tank full of it all the time. So alright, got my mark, got diesel dripping off of it this time. Put that off, and now let's measure this. What do you know, it's exactly the same, 13. So turn this around, go to 9. I figured it would be the same, but I do not like making assumptions. Assumptions will destroy you every time. Alright, got it marked once again. Clear cut. Noise. Same thing. This one came out a little bit better, but there's still a little bit of that cutting debris closing up that hole, so I definitely want to clean that out, which is what I'm doing. So as you can see, or at least I hope you can, the hole is open, nut off, ready to go in. Put it in the hole, tighten it down, check them threads. Look at that. I love it when a plan comes together. Nice. You know what? I think those are tight enough. I don't want to over torque it and screw up that gasket, so that's good, exactly where it is. Now, one of the next things I want to do is I'm not ready to run lines to the tanks or any of that kind of stuff yet. So I think what I'm going to do, just for some insurance, is put these over the top of this, like so. Put this over the top of here, like so. They're definitely tight, that's for sure. No doubt about that. Nice. These are permanent. These are always going to be here. I'll put clamps on them later when I'm ready to do my final install. But the thing that I'm trying to do right now, because I'm not ready to do this and I don't want to leave those tubes open, is I'm going to create a closed loop circuit between those two by using the fuel line. And I'm going to put one end over here in this tube like this, because this is the way it's supposed to work anyway. Put that one in there. Come over here, take the other end of the tube, which is one continuous loop, put it in this end right here, And now I have a closed circuit. Nothing should get in or out of the tank. And now, at this particular point in time, I am really happy because I finally tapped the tanks not once but twice, and I've got both of them in. They're both secure. They're both ready to rock and roll. Thanks for being with me on this. It was a little bit stressful because, like I said, I've never done this before. But we are done. We are golden. We are good. So thank you for joining me. Everyone, it is Wednesday, March the 5th. I hope you kind of enjoyed the little fun I had with the weather today and the time lapse. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. I turned that on and put it out on the front porch to capture the weather today because it was supposed to be pretty rough, and went back about my day and did my work and came back and got it later and put it on here just to have a little bit of fun. So I hope you truly enjoyed it.